Built in 1593 by local nobleman Sir Thomas Tresham, this extraordinary folly is testament to a rather unusual obsession. So, where is it and why was it built? Find out in just a moment, or three. On today's show, we meet a husband and wife who are looking for a home to retire to and are almost struck dumb with what they see.
I won't quite say I'm speechless, I've never lost for words, but I'm pleased, yes.
And when it comes to choosing houses, we find out who's the boss.
We can downsize.
My wife says we can downsize, so we can downsize.
Sorted.
Today I'm in Northamptonshire and this is Rushton Triangular Lodge. It has 3 sides, each has 3 windows and is 33.3 feet long. There are 3 floors and it contains 3 inscriptions with 33 letters. This unique structure was designed by Sir Thomas Tresham as a pious monument to the Holy Trinity and reflects his enduring obsession with the number 3. Tresham was a committed Catholic who was fined and imprisoned for 15 years for his refusal to convert after the Reformation. When he was released, he set about creating the lodge in secret affirmation of his faith. But wonderful architectural oddities like this are not all that Northamptonshire has got to offer. Comes to property values, the average cost of a detached house here in the county is £252,000. That's about £12,000 below the national average, making Northamptonshire good value for your property pound. And that's even more so when you consider that in Buckinghamshire, which neighbours the county to the south, the average cost of a detached house is £574,000, which is more than double. So where in the county are a couple looking to move to? Let's meet them and find out. Retired IT professional Alan and his wife Anne have lived in their family home for the last 25 years in the commuter village of Bricket Wood in Hertfordshire. They first met when a mutual friend introduced them on a works night out.
This friend mentioned that she had a friend staying with her, and I sort of invite her along, the more the merrier type of thing, especially if it's a girl rather than a bloke. Kept in touch a little bit, went out a few times, and it just grew from there.
Married for 35 years, they have 2 children who have now grown up and moved away. And it's their desire to be closer to their family that's fueling the move.
Our daughter lives near Oxford and our son lives in Loughborough. So we're looking to go somewhere in between the two.
Bricket Wood has served us well, there's no 2 ways about that, but we feel the world is whizzing past the door virtually.
There's the M1, M25 and the A405, all major roads that are very close to the house.
But now that we don't need to be racing out and joining the wider world, we like somewhere with a quieter, slightly slower pace of life.
Alan was born with cerebral palsy, which affected his lower limbs. After a number of operations as a child, he's been able to live a fairly active life. But over the last 5 years, walking has become difficult. So they invested in a mobility scooter, which changed everything.
We bought this little mobility scooter just over a year ago now. It's a portable one, it's quite small, so it can fold up and go in the boot of the car.
You can just, whenever there's a suitable path, out it can come and we can go places together.
Newfound freedom will certainly come in handy for their next move. Active members of their current community, both Alan and Anne, are looking forward to village life.
What we're looking for in the village we moved to is to have some organisation, because we enjoy being part of the community and we want it to stay that way.
We would want an area that has a community spirit, somewhere we can get involved in.
Whilst downsizing from their 4-bedroom house is an option, they still need room for their many hobbies. Anne enjoys gardening, whilst Alan is keen to keep his passions on track.
My main hobby really is railway related. I have had over a number of years a large model railway in this house. I would want to continue that in a new property.
So it's full steam ahead as we search for their next property. And the pressure's on as Alan and Anne chose their chalet bungalow home within 10 minutes of walking through the door.
When we walked into this house, we both had the same feeling. Even before we looked around all the rooms, we both felt, yes, we like this house. That's the sort of feeling I'm looking for.
I do think I would recognise the house that if it was the right one.
Yes.
Alan and Anne have asked us to concentrate our search to the south and centre of Northamptonshire. So I'm meeting up with them in the county to find out more about their motives for moving. Well, welcome to Northamptonshire.
Thank you.
So what is it about this part of the country that does appeal to the two of you?
It's lovely countryside, and we wanted to move close to family.
We have family in Leicestershire and Oxfordshire, so Northamptonshire seemed a natural choice in the middle, a lovely location.
So why are the two of you making this move now at this particular time?
Well, I retired in 2013, and it was always a plan to move away from the busy area where we currently live into a more quieter, rural area. And hopefully we'll retire soon, so now is the right time for us to start and make a move.
So what are you looking for your home here? What image do you have in mind?
I'm hoping it'll be in, well, probably one of the slightly larger villages rather than a hamlet. Probably a bungalow or a house that's suitable for Alan's accessibility issues.
Yes, as well as nice sized reception rooms and that sort of thing. Space for hobbies. We have some exercise equipment. I have a hobby of model railways, which I'd like to facilitate and that sort of thing. I'd like space for a garage and a little bit of a workshop if possible. So, while we say we're downsizing, we still want a little bit of space around us.
You want your man space, don't you?
I do,
for your...
Exactly, yes, exactly, yes.
And what about a garden?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Must have a garden.
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a great big one, but want some space.
Yeah.
Have to grow raspberries.
You want to go raspberry. So remind me of the budget that we've got for this search.
Well, the budget is £450,000. We have sold our property, so ready to pack and ready to go.
So the pressure's on time-wise?
It certainly is.
With this one?
It certainly is.
Well, it is a healthy budget for this part of the country. And we've got some great properties to show you.
Great.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yep.
With a budget of £450,000, our buyers are ideally looking for a property similar to their current home. Downsizing to 2 or 3 bedrooms is a possibility if the living areas are spacious and easily accessible for Alan. A garage and a room for his model railway are a must, whilst Anne would like a moderate-sized garden. And as they both like to get involved in village life, a strong community spirit is important. And we've got 3 wonderful houses lined up, but we won't be revealing their prices until the end of each tour. Our final property, the Mystery House, will certainly test whose strength of character is strongest when it comes to deciding which type of house to go for. So we're off to look at a property. What would you like to see when we pull up outside it? An old property, a new property?
I've got a very open mind on that. Part of me pulls towards a newer style of house, but I'm not ruling anything out.
Okay.
And I want a house with character.
Yes.
Okay. So you're each being pulled in opposite directions, slightly at the moment.
A little bit, but that's no different to a lot of things in life, but we always come back together at the end.
We're starting off our Northamptonshire search in the heart of the county, equidistant from their son and daughter, in the village of East Haddon. The village has all the romance you could hope for: honey-coloured houses, thatched roofs, a parish church, and can even boast its very own fairy tale tower, which is a 2-storey water tower built from stone in 1890. Widely recognised for its strong community spirit, East Haddon should suit our couple due to its popular local pub, an active village hall hosting plenty of clubs, and the local shop, which can be found just a 2-minute drive away in the neighbouring village of Ravensthorpe. The first house I want to show our buyers sits in the centre of East Haddon with easy access to everything. So, this is a property that I've brought you to see, and it's this modern, it's a brick-built chalet bungalow. It's got your nice big garage.
I did spot that straight away.
What are your initial impressions?
The garage is great. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to getting in the front door.
Well, I was certainly interested to have a look.
Yes.
OK, well, we've got 4 bedrooms to show you, 2 of which are downstairs, which could be interesting.
Yes, very helpful.
So come on, let's go and take a look.
Okay, thank you.
This property should suit Alan's desire for something modern. Built in the 1980s, this chalet bungalow offers flexible living throughout. Recently extended, to the rear is a new kitchen diner which provides a welcome addition, and a wide hallway leads us there. So here we go.
Oh, this is lovely.
Yeah.
This is a nice space.
Plenty of cupboard space. Very good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this open plan living?
We're quite keen on that, to be honest.
And I think what a lovely place to sit.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't quite say I'm speechless. I've never lost for words. But I'm pleased, yes, I'm pleased.
Looks lovely.
You
Yes.
could imagine sitting there in the morning with a cup of tea and those doors open.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't we go and take a look at the sitting room?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Now, we had a hint of the view from the kitchen, but here it is in this lovely, bright, airy sitting room.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It is a nice room.
Proper fireplace.
Yeah. I mean, what's going through my mind is the furniture that we currently have will fit nicely in here and still leave plenty space.
Mentally moving in is a great sign. Also downstairs, there's a shower room and 2 further rooms, which could offer the potential for ground floor bedrooms. One is presently used as a study, and I have an idea about how to use the second one. So it's currently used as a dining room, but I just thought I could see a train set in here. I could see some exercise equipment.
Yes. Yeah, it is a lovely sized room.
A very big train set.
Don't tempt me. Yes.
Could you fill this room with a model train
Oh,
set?
yes. It would take a year or two, but
It's a lovely room as well.
yeah, we would end up debating as to how the space was actually used, but we would certainly use the space. It is good. It's a good space.
Well, I think we're off to a good start.
Yes.
Let's explore upstairs and see
Yes.
if you're still happy after you've seen that.
Yes.
Yeah, very good downstairs.
So far, so good, but will the further 2 bedrooms upstairs also appeal? Decorated in a neutral palette, the first bedroom comes with its own ensuite, whilst a large Jack and Jill bathroom serves the final and most spacious first floor room. So this is the master bedroom.
Wow.
Quite a nice view from the window.
Indeed. That's lovely.
It is very pleasant.
Yep.
It's nice, it's light, it's airy, plenty of storage space. Fantastic. Yes.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yes, great.
OK, well, let's go out into the garden. And you need to start thinking as well, because you know what I'm going to be asking you soon, don't you?
Yes.
Put your thinking caps on.
Yeah, OK.
Outside into the rear of the property, there's a low-maintenance garden with a stunning agricultural outlook. Although a keen horticulturalist, Anne wasn't looking for a large space, so hopefully this modest garden will work for her. What do you think of the size?
Garden-wise, possibly I'd like a little bit more land, but obviously there's compensations of the fact that it's not enclosed and you're looking at green space behind you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Certainly wouldn't take me long to mow the lawn, so maintaining the lawn would not be an issue. That's great.
All right, well, let's guess the price. Come on. Who wants to start?
Shall I start?
Yes.
I think this property would be 435.
OK, and Anne?
I'm going to go a little bit higher, at 440.
Ooh, you're both off the mark. Yeah. You're both under the asking price.
Right.
It's on the market for £450,000. It's only been on the market for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And the owners are open to an offer, particularly to people in your position.
Yeah.
They can also move quickly.
Right.
8 weeks they could be out in, so it could be a quick move for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you smiling, so I
Yes.
think you should go back in, explore, have a really good look around again, and I'll come and find you.
That's great.
OK.
Come on, let's go and have a look.
Bang on budget at £450,000, this property offers our couple the layout and flexibility that they're looking for in a location close to the centre of the village. With a bright kitchen diner and the option of ground floor bedrooms, there's plenty of scope for the future, as well as room for their hobbies. Then a further 2 upstairs bedrooms both come with their own ensuite bathrooms. Outside, there's a double garage for Alan, and whilst the garden is a little on the small side for Anne, the stunning vista certainly makes up for it.
It's a great start. Like this property very much. The kitchen dining area, that is definitely a bit of a wow factor for the house. It's got a space which is better than a conservatory because it's usable all the year round.
It is definitely a contender. It has an awful lot to offer. Just looking forward to seeing the others as well.
Have you both seen enough?
Yes, for the
Yes.
time being.
Well, you went in with a smile on your face, and you've come out with smiles on your faces, so a good start?
Definitely.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Correct.
Back in the 18th century, Northamptonshire was celebrated for its pure and wholesome air. and had a reputation as being one of the healthiest counties in the country, a place where agriculture and livestock flourished. And what could be more healthy than to pick your own seasonal fruits? With Anne keen to grow raspberries in her new garden, we've brought her and Alan along to a farm near Kettering to pick up some top tips from the owner, Robert Bye.
We're very pleased to come to Dovecote Farm. Obviously, members of the public come and pick fruit. What else do you do at the farm?
We're growing strawberries, raspberries, gooseberries, currants, red currants, black currants. We have 900 acres of arable land, which has been in the family for 3 generations.
So what's in season now?
Raspberries is the main thing at the moment.
Right.
That's in season. Quite a lot of nice raspberries out there.
Oh, I love
You
raspberries.
love raspberries? Shall we go and try and pick some then?
Yes,
Okay.
I'd love to do that,
Need us
thank you.
on.
Raspberries belong to the same botanical family as the rose and originated from Asia and Eastern Europe. It's thought that the first raspberries were cultivated by the Romans and were not only eaten as fruit, but the berries and leaves were also used for medical purposes, treating anything from sore eyes to cleaning teeth. With over 200 different varieties, 5 grown on this farm, it's a great opportunity to learn what makes a perfect pick your own.
When we're picking raspberries, what are we looking for? What's the optimum raspberry to
You're
pick?
looking for a nice red one. Sometimes they're quite low down and inside the bushes. So if you squeeze it gently and just pull it off the calyx, and that's what you're looking for. Bear in mind, they are soft fruit, so the more you squeeze them, the less shelf life they're going to have.
So have you any tips for growing them if we wanted to grow them at home?
You need to keep the nutrition quite high, feed them well. Just be careful on the watering. Don't overwater them because they will rot. And regular picking, really.
Which variety would you recommend for the home grower, you know, with a small plot?
I would always opt for an autumn fruiting variety.
Right.
Because they're a little bit easier to manage. What grows up will produce fruit in the autumn.
Next year.
Yeah.
So how long is the raspberry season?
For us, it starts at the end of June and runs through July and into early August.
With an abundant crop on offer, it's time to say goodbye to Robert, get picking, and fill up a couple of punnets with this tasty fresh fruit. And because the proof is always in the pudding, the next stop is the Tea Room Gardens, where the farm's chef, Caroline Cross-Redkin, is going to teach them how to make raspberry roulade.
Hello, Caroline.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Raspberries.
Oh, fabulous.
Freshly picked.
With meringue base ready, made from sugar, egg whites and baked at 170 degrees for 25 minutes in the oven, a layer of lemon curd is added before the whipped cream.
So who would like to start doing that for me?
Anne would like to do that.
Whipped and sweetened with a bit of icing sugar and a touch of vanilla, it's spread evenly over the top.
That's great, you'll be doing these at home. That's lovely. And then, do you want to pop the raspberries on?
Yeah, I'll just spread them on.
Yeah, just put them on however you like to, as long as it sort of covers everywhere, that's absolutely fine. That's marvellous. That's it, that's lovely.
OK.
That's everything apart from the final step, which is the rolling of the roulade.
With a clean cloth for support, the roulade is lifted and gently rolled into shape.
Wow.
Yeah. So, have a taste.
You.
The lemon and the raspberries.
Yeah, they go
Absolutely
nicely
delicious.
together. They do.
Absolutely delicious.
They do.
Thank you, Caroline. That's delightful.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Now that tasty treat's been devoured, it's high time we turned our attention back to the property search. I wanted to show you something different, really. You've talked about, you know, perhaps this move could be about downsizing, and I want to put that to the test and see how you feel about something smaller.
OK.
So what are your first impressions?
Very nice little bungalow. Yeah, definitely.
Good first impressions. It looks neat and tidy. The exterior looks well cared for. I'm not at this point seeing a garage, but yeah, initially it looks good.
Now, there was a garage there that the present owners have taken down. The base and one of the walls is still there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to rebuild that and that was, you know, important for you, then that would be a relatively easy thing to do.
Yeah.
OK.
Yeah.
Well, shall we see how you feel about downsizing?
Yes, please.
Happy for that?
Okay.
Built in the 1970s, this 3-bedroom detached bungalow is again more to Alan's taste, being a modern property. And although it is smaller than the first house, it's deceptively spacious, having been extended over the years. In addition, it's been completely renovated inside, which comes as a welcome surprise.
Oh, this is light and airy.
It is, it is. You've got a downstairs toilet with a shower room in there. And let me bring you in here into cosy living room.
Beautifully presented, isn't it?
It is. It's nicely
Very nice
decorated.
room.
It is.
I like the fact that the settee is at the angle where you can actually look out into the garden. Beautifully presented house.
Is it to your taste?
Yeah, it's lovely.
And this
Yeah.
isn't the end of the living space either, because you've got some excellent living space right next door.
Oh, good.
So come and have a look at that. So here's your second living space.
Oh, this is lovely.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
This
Absolutely
has
excellent.
taken me by surprise.
Yeah.
This is a nice space for living in, for dining in.
Another nice fireplace.
Yeah.
Let's just swing around and take a
Sure.
look at the kitchen, because, of course, just like everything else,
Yeah.
it's beautifully done.
Sweet
Yes.
kitchen.
It is.
Yeah. Plenty of units. A very workable kitchen.
It's smaller than I expected, but it looks okay. I mean, there's enough space here, you know. How big a kitchen do you need for two people to bounce around in?
Yeah, and you know what, when you downsize,
Yes.
you get smaller kitchen, things get smaller.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep that in my head at the moment.
And of course that brings me
But,
on to bedrooms, and
yes.
they are smaller.
Yeah.
You haven't got as much space. So let's go and take a look. In this bungalow, the reception rooms sit to the right of the property, whilst to the left there are 3 bedrooms and the family bathroom. Fabulously decorated with a stylish 3-piece suite and shower. Next to it is a single bedroom currently set up as a study with built-in storage. Another room, now used as a sewing space, would make an excellent double. And finally, we come to the master. So this is the largest of the 3 bedrooms, and it's got a lovely view out onto the garden and the summer house.
This is
yeah.
fine.
Yes.
It's got plenty of storage space. Plenty of room around the bed.
For a bedroom, it's fine space-wise.
You're sounding reticent, Alan.
I'm not sure. How much space do you need in a bedroom, for goodness sake?
Are you trying to convince yourself or convince me? I'm not
probably
sure.
trying to convince myself, to be honest.
So it's
Yeah.
got what
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
Yes.
if you're thinking about downsizing.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you downsize.
Well, yeah.
We can downsize.
My wife says we can downsize, so we can downsize.
Sorted. And I know one of the concerns on the last property was the size of the garden. You'd have liked to have seen a bit more space, and we've got more space to show you on this one.
Okay, thank you.
And start thinking about the price. So a few negative vibes coming from Alan, but I am hopeful that upsizing to a bigger garden found at the rear of the property will change their minds. So just as much care and attention has been given to the garden, as you can see. It's got 2 lovely seating areas and that
Yes.
beautiful summer house.
It's a lovely,
Yeah.
lovely garden.
It is.
What about the size?
The size of this garden's fine.
It's a nice size.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
take me a little longer to cut the lawn, but it's still manageable.
Yes,
And the
it's-
summer house is a nice feature.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what's coming
Yeah.
now. Who wants to go first?
Me, I suppose.
Go on, Anne.
It's my turn. Well, so I'm going to go for 425.
OK.
I would go for 395.
OK. I'm sorry to say that you're both wrong yet again.
Surprise,
We're not very
surprise.
good at this, are we?
Only this time, you're both over.
Oh.
Quite considerably. It's on the market for £375,000.
That's interesting, because that brings us, yeah, big difference in the price.
There is
Yeah,
a big difference. And the current owners, they're more than happy to go into rented accommodation, so it could be flexible and
Yeah.
could move quickly if that
Yeah.
worked with your time scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that in mind,
Yeah.
go back in and take another look
Yeah.
and just give some thought to how you would really feel about downsizing and, you know, what you'd be able to bring with you to something of this size.
Well, I'll get my skip out.
Considerably below budget at £375,000, this beautifully renovated bungalow may be a downsize for a couple, but it still has plenty of living space. There's a small, fully equipped kitchen, and being on one level, it allows easy access to the 3 bedrooms and bathrooms. To the rear of the property, there's a large garden and space to build a garage in the future.
The house itself is absolutely beautifully presented. Loads of living space. The sitting room is lovely. The bedrooms are smaller, which leaves with me trying to think what we can do to maybe fit some of the extras that I know Alan wants. So my thoughts for the exercise bike maybe and the train set is that potentially consider digging this out and then having a small building here.
No, I think it's a good idea. It's worth investigating. Definitely a contender. There's a bit of deliberation and thought needs to go on tonight when Anne and I sit down at the end of the evening and try and weigh things up.
Here you come. 2 very different properties.
Indeed.
Very interesting.
Your mind's whirring.
Yeah, well, they've both got pluses and minuses, and I think that definitely we've got food for thought.
A lot of thinking to do.
Well, come on, let's go and get a drink and you can do some thinking.
Excellent.
It's the start of our second day here in Northamptonshire with recently retired Alan and his wife Anne from Bricket Wood in Hertfordshire. With a £450,000 budget, they would consider downsizing, but want somewhere that has enough space for Alan to navigate with ease, as well as plenty of room for their hobbies. Still to come, the mystery house is proof that age is just a number.
It looks well maintained. It's weathered over the years better than I have.
And I find out that the force is still going strong when it comes to the county's centuries-old footwear industry. I need to know why you have Darth Vader's footprint on your wall here in the middle of Northamptonshire. We had a good start to the search yesterday with positive reactions to both our properties, with that second bungalow really challenging our couple on how far they're prepared to go when it comes to downsizing. Now, Anne obviously puts Alan's practical needs first when it comes to looking for their new home, but I have a feeling that it's character properties that pull on her heartstrings, whilst modern homes seem to appeal more to Alan. And I've got high hopes for our mystery house. It has a unique style that I think could end up appealing to both of them. And for our third and final house, we're heading further north, close to the Northamptonshire-Leicestershire border, to the village of Great Oxenden. Despite its name, Great Oxenden is the smallest of our 3 country villages. While sleepy in comparison, it still has lots of clubs and activities on offer in the village hall, and daily essentials are catered for by the local farm shop. For bigger items, historic Market Harborough, just 3 miles up the road, holds a weekly fruit and veg market and has all the amenities you could want. Back in Great Oxenden, just off a quiet country road, we find our last property, which offers unique style and character that should suit both Alan and Anne. So this is the mystery house. It's an older property.
Wow.
It's not the modern ones we've been showing you, Alan.
No.
Lovely looking house.
It is a nice-looking house. It's taken my breath away a little bit. It's much older property than I expected to see.
Yeah.
Its age, it has got character. It looks externally, it looks well maintained for its age. It's weathered over the years better than I have.
It was 2 cottages, 350 to 400 years old, that have been knocked together. One of them used to be the village sweet shop.
Oh.
Interested to see it.
Well, there's a few interesting things to show you inside, so come on, let's go and take a look.
Grand.
Dating back to the 17th century, this brick-built 4-bedroom period home is packed with character features. With a stunning oak-framed extension to the rear, it takes advantage of its location, looking over the open countryside. And we're starting off in the cosy rooms indoors. I'm not sure if you're a fan of character and beans, but we've got a lot of that here.
Certainly have.
Very attractive. Very attractive room.
It is.
Yeah. It's decent-sized windows, so it's a reasonably bright room. It's not dark. And I like the idea of the fire. Nice place to sit of an evening, this would be.
Mm.
Alan, you're looking ever so pensive.
Yes, this is a surprise. Could I see myself sitting here? Could I see myself living here? At the moment, I'm saying, why not? So that's still all formulating in my mind.
You probably noticed there's a couple of doors here. This is a good under cupboard and storage space, but that leads through to an extra sitting room. So there's a second sitting room down there. It's a good size, which I guess over time could be utilised for exercise equipment, model railways.
Important.
A downstairs bedroom should you need it. So you do have a lot of living space.
Excellent.
But the part that I think gives this house the real wow factor is just through here. So just come and take a look in here. And it's this fantastic open-plan kitchen diner that was added on 3 years ago.
Wow.
It's lovely. Beautiful kitchen. Plenty of space. It actually really has a view. That's what I call a view.
This is nice. It's light, it's airy, it's spacious. Got an island. Yeah, like it. Like this room, most certainly.
Absolutely fabulous room.
So I think this combines old and new really beautifully. What about the two of you? Do you think it works?
I think it works really well. I think this is a gorgeous room, and you'd really use this day to day.
OK, well, let's explore upstairs.
Sure.
There's a lot to see. And I think I have found the most perfect spot for you to put your exercise equipment. Honestly, I don't think it can be bettered, so follow me.
OK.
Riding high from their initial response, I feel encouraged to show them the 4 bedrooms upstairs. One a bright and spacious double, another is currently set up as a twin, a smaller single ideal as a hobbies room, and a family bathroom. But before I show them the master, I want us to stop and admire the landing. You can just see that stunning view out over the fields. I could see you on your exercise bike on here, Alan.
Trying to reach those distant trees.
You'll never get there, but, you know, but what a thing to aim for. Just turning to some of the practical considerations. The stairs would absolutely accommodate a stair lift, if that's what you'd want to do. And another option that you could explore is the possibility of removing one of the glass panels from up here and putting a small lift in.
Yeah, very good.
Up a couple of steps and to the right of the landing is the master. So the older nature of the house is definitely apparent up here. But it's very quaint, it's very
It's a very sweet room. Nice, plenty of storage space.
It's fine for a master bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sweet room.
Yes, it is.
Now, I know the big appeal about the house is the view, and why wouldn't it be? So let's go into the garden and take a look at it and just, you know, really take in how beautiful it is out there. Once outside, I'll be putting them to the test when it comes to the price. Hopefully it will be a price worth paying, as in the garden there's a large double garage, as well as those beautiful views from the garden itself. Now, what do you think about the size of the garden, Anne, for your green fingers?
I think this garden's fine. There's plenty you can do with it. Yeah, I would be happy enough with this because, together with putting some more interesting garden, you've got a wonderful view.
And now comes a point where I'd like to know what you think this house is on the market for.
I don't know. My head's in a bit of a twirl, really. The old, the new. It's a stab in the dark. I'll go 400,000.
400, OK. Anne, what about you?
I think I'd pay more for this house. I wouldn't be surprised if it was on our budget, but I think let's say 435.
OK, well, you're both wrong again, but Anne is very close. It's on the market for £425,000.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So why don't you go inside and just spend a bit more time in it and just take in that mix of old and new?
Yeah.
OK.
Maybe sometime.
OK.
OK.
That's fantastic. I got the reaction I was so hoping for from this house. We've managed to bring together that blend of old and new. They both seem to have really good vibes about it. And the budget at £425,000, this period property has certainly proved popular. A perfect blend of historic and contemporary character, the downstairs rooms offer plenty of space, 30 feet of it in the kitchen diner alone. A galleried landing leads to 4 good-sized bedrooms and a bathroom, whilst to the rear there's a double garage and a lawn leading to those lovely views.
I was very interested to see the mystery house. I was very excited about that. Magnificently large, but still old and full of character room. Alan was hoping for something new. I was hoping for something old. You put the two together. Great mixture. Oh, this is a cosy little room.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting this to be here.
No, I wasn't. Yeah.
Useful room to have.
Yes, sit here on a winter's night. Lovely.
Good.
I love this space. The kitchen area behind me is everything one would need. There's a nice relaxing sitting area, ample space for dining. Upstairs needs further thought, but where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello. Well, that's the 3 properties seen.
Lovely house, really interesting. Delighted to have seen it.
Yes, absolutely delightful property.
I think you've got a lot of thinking to do.
We have. You've thrown the whole thing up in the air again.
Oh, we love it when that happens. Come on, thinking time.
OK.
Pretty villages, rolling hills and nature in abundance. This county belies its once industrial past. A long history of shoemaking dating back to the 13th century. With its plentiful supply of oak, bark and water for tanning and a bountiful stock of leather, the footwear industry flourished, helped by a large order from Oliver Cromwell to kit out his army in the Civil War. After years of decline, there's been a recent rise in demand for this skilled British craft. So I've come to the village of Ravensthorpe and the Horace Batten factory, who make heritage riding boots. I'm meeting the current owner, Tim Batten. What a treasure trove it is here. It's a stunning place.
Thank you.
So how did the company get started?
As a family, we go back as bootmakers to, shall we say, 1804, and that gentleman there started the business. He was Horace. My father, his son, was also called Horace, which causes some confusion.
So you're carrying on the family tradition, are you? Are the boots still made using the same techniques and the same skills that would have been back in the day when the first Horace was around?
Yes, it hasn't changed a great deal.
How long does it take to make a pair of your boots?
I suppose the stock answer is it takes about 3 months, but it depends on the processes, so it's very hard to quantify how long it takes.
My eagle eyes spotted on the wall something that says, footprint for Darth Vader. I need to know why you have Darth Vader's footprint on your wall here in the middle of Northamptonshire.
Well, my father was approached in the mid-80s to make a pair of boots for Darth Vader. In fact, that boot there was the prototype for that project. Now, of course, Star Wars is very famous. When it came to him, it was all sort of, can you make a pair of boots for this guy? He's going to be something in a film.
Famous feat aside, in the past these boots have also kitted out submariners and the Women's Land Army in the Second World War. Today, the time and quality dedicated to each pair of boots is such that they can sell for between £1,000 and £2,000, all bespoke and based on the original designs.
If you come through here, we'll show you where we start the process, which is, of course, with a last that we have here. This has been modified a little bit, otherwise this is fairly standard.
Have you noticed any changes over all the years in the shape of people's feet?
People's shape has changed, really, I would say, dramatically. In 1960, the average shoe size was like a 7.5 or an 8. It's now a 9.5 or a 10. Now imagine if that carries on for the next 300 years, we'll all be 12 feet tall.
Well, all have feet like Darth Vader.
Exactly.
With 5 key stages involved in building these boots, they still use traditional tools and machinery. The process starts with measuring and tailoring, cutting out the leather and then stitching it together. And when the leather upper boot is moulded into shape, the soles are added.
This is our making department.
Okay.
What's happening here is that the upper is being pulled over the last and it's held temporarily in position with these nails. The next stage will be that we will put a welt in and that will be stitched in by hand.
The welt is a strip of leather onto which the outer sole is attached. The boot is then shaped and final touches applied, and while some of these wonderful skills can take up to 2 years to learn, I have just 2 minutes to get the hang of one of the detailing processes.
Right, we're doing a little bit of stitching here. Perhaps you'd like to have a go.
OK.
OK, so you hold it with your left hand, right hand on there, and turn clockwise.
Yeah.
Right, that's good.
It's effortless, isn't it?
Right.
Wow.
Yes, no, you're doing actually. I know they say that, but you're actually doing very well indeed. Now, this is where the skill comes in. You've got to manipulate it.
Pull it slightly as you
You've
go.
got to pull it slightly towards you. Keep going. Go on. That's it.
There. Is it there?
And you can pull it out. Excellent. Practice makes perfect.
Though my sewing seems to be a success, I must hang up my boots and catch up with our house buyers to see if any decisions have been made.
Anne and Alan have had positive reactions to all 3 of the properties that we've shown them. And at this point, I'm genuinely feeling quite confused because I have no idea which of the 3 they're leaning towards, because they seem to like them all. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, I'm very intrigued and I'm looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are at this point.
It's been an interesting few days away. We've seen 3 very different properties. The first property was plenty of space, and certainly had the double garage that I had on my little wish list, and the kitchen dining area with the wonderful outlook at the back really was a bit of a bonus. Do you agree?
Yeah. Number 1 house is exactly ideal for us.
And then you threw the curved ball in.
Yeah. Property 3, the house itself was interesting.
Took my breath away a little bit.
A lot.
A lot.
But it's not the type of house that I would actually buy. So our conclusion is that we'd like to have a second look at house number 1.
Yes.
Fantastic news.
So we've actually contacted our children and said, are you free on Saturday to come and we'll all have a look at it.
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled that you found a property that's sparked enough interest in you to want to go back and to take the family with you. And wherever you end up, we hope that you have a really happy escape to the country.
Thank you very much.
We're leaving Anne and Alan on a positive note, heading off for a second viewing on the first property we showed them. A house which is pretty similar to the home they've lived in for the last 29 years. Well, after exploring the local area more, I really hope they've found a new home to be happy in for years to come. Join me next time on Escape to the Country.
Alan and Anne did go back for a second viewing with their family, but decided to buy another property in the area. And I'm pleased to say they've had their offer accepted. If you'd like to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/behonestshow.
Built in 1593 by local nobleman Sir Thomas Tresham, this extraordinary folly is testament to a rather unusual obsession. So where is it and why was it built? Find out in just a moment, or 3.
On today's show, we meet a husband and wife who are looking for a home to retire to and are almost struck dumb with what they see.
I won't quite say I'm speechless, I've never lost for words, but I'm pleased, yes.
And when it comes to choosing houses, we find out who's the boss.
We can downsize.
My wife says we can downsize, so we can downsize.
Sorted.
Today I'm in Northamptonshire and this is Rushden Triangular Lodge. It has 3 sides, each has 3 windows and is 33.3 feet long. There are 3 floors and it contains 3 inscriptions with 33 letters. This unique structure was designed by Sir Thomas Tresham as a pious monument to the Holy Trinity and reflects his enduring obsession with the number 3. Tresham was a committed Catholic who was fined and imprisoned for 15 years for his refusal to convert after the Reformation. When he was released, he set about creating the lodge in secret affirmation of his faith. But wonderful architectural oddities like this are not all that Northamptonshire has got to offer. Comes to property values, the average cost of a detached house here in the county is £252,000. That's about £12,000 below the national average, making Northamptonshire good value for your property pound. And that's even more so when you consider that in Buckinghamshire, which neighbours the county to the south, the average cost of a detached house is £574,000, which is more than double. So where in the county are a couple looking to move to? Let's meet them and find out.
Retired IT professional Alan and his wife Anne have lived in their family home for the last 25 years in the commuter village of Bricket Wood in Hertfordshire. They first met when a mutual friend introduced them on a works night out.
This friend mentioned that she had a friend staying with her, and I sort of invite her along, the more the merrier type of thing, especially if it's a girl rather than a bloke. Kept in touch a little bit, went out a few times, and it just grew from there.
Married for 35 years, they have 2 children who have now grown up and moved away. And it's their desire to be closer to their family that's fueling the move.
Our daughter lives near Oxford and our son lives in Loughborough. So we're looking to go somewhere in between the 2.
Bricket Wood has served us well, there's no 2 ways about that, but we feel the world is whizzing past the door virtually.
There's the M1, M25 and the A405, all major roads that are very close to the house.
But now that we don't need to be racing out and joining the wider world, we like somewhere with a quieter, slightly slower pace of life.
Alan was born with cerebral palsy, which affected his lower limbs. After a number of operations as a child, he's been able to live a fairly active life. But over the last 5 years, walking has become difficult. So they invested in a mobility scooter, which changed everything.
We bought this little mobility scooter just over a year ago now. It's a portable one, it's quite small, so it can fold up and go in the boot of the car.
You can just, whenever there's a suitable path out, it can come and we can go places together.
Newfound freedom will certainly come in handy for their next move. Active members of their current community, both Alan and Anne, are looking forward to village life.
What we're looking for in the village we moved to is to have some organisation. because we enjoy being part of the community and we want it to stay that way.
We would want an area that has a community spirit, somewhere we can get involved in.
Whilst downsizing from their 4-bedroomed house is an option, they still need room for their many hobbies.